We're gonna bring up Kalei, Kekumano, and Hunter Lee. Come on, guys, don't make your way to the stage. You're gonna hear their story. You guys have to show the mic, yeah?
We surf from Maka to Makai, from the North Shore breeze to the yellow sky. On every island we stand tall, with hearts of a
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
900 families we've had there.
All right, guys.
More than just 8.
I'm gonna, instead of giving them a long intro, because I could talk for 2 days about how cool they are and how proud I am of them and how much I've learned from them, I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes, just introduce yourselves, tell us what you were doing in your long life prior to getting into real estate, all your prior experience, and why'd you decide to pursue this career?
Hey, hello everybody, I'm Hunter. I am 22 years old. I got into real estate a little bit over a year ago. I went to St. Louis High School down in like Kaimuki area by Manoa. I always grew up playing football and everything, and I was always competitive, and I always thought that was going to be the end goal for me, play football in college, the dream of going to NFL, all of that. But I ended up actually out of high school, going to college, wasn't for me. I knew I wanted to do something more with my life, and I mean, I was friends with Kalei in high school, and we ended up getting together maybe when we were like 19, 20, we're 22 now, and we started our own digital media company. We're like, oh, we're gonna be rich off digital media, you know? Maybe that's why our Instagram's like a little bit cool, but no, yeah. So we thought we were gonna do digital media. We thought we were gonna be like these influencers and all this stuff, but ended up not working out for us, and we got into real estate. What's up, Patrick? We've been bouncing around. When we first got into real estate, we really bounced around brokerage to brokerage, and had no idea what we were doing. We were completely lost, and we met Dylan, and we joined the agency team, and it's been a blessing, and we're so blessed to be a part of this team. But yeah, that's kind of like my story right now.
Oh, this mic. Oh, that mic sucks. Even that mic.
Okay.
I'll use that one.
My name is Kalei Kekumano, and I didn't go to St. Louis. I went to, if you're from Hawaii, you know this school, it sucks. It's Damien. So I'm not going to talk about that. But, always at a young age, I was surrounded with my family. They were all very successful, from my own brothers to my cousins. So I always had a sense that I had to fill big shoes, when I have a brother that went to Harvard and graduated, and I have a brother that is on the big screens. It's a lot to take in as a young person, and I definitely feel like I have a lot of weight that I need to carry in the family. Even though that I put that on myself, I really do think that I have something more that I want to bring to life. So I always took that growing up, and I always knew I wanted to be in business. And I, started business with him, marketing agency. I would also lifeguard at Ocean Safety. I would be cold calling in the tower, all the construction companies across this United States with him. And it was just a great entryway to real estate. My uncle owned a brokerage. That's where we ended up going. So from there, we kind of jumped around, like you said, and we ended up finding him, and it just clicked immediately with how our hardworking background is and his systems. It's a recipe for success, that's for sure.
So how many deals did you guys do in your first 6 months in the business?
So for the first 6 months, we didn't do anything, actually. First 6 months of our business, we did nothing. We were lost.
Who's doing nothing for the first 6 months, right?
Yeah, we were lost. We did realtor cosplay. That's what we like to do. We would dress up nice and then walk around and be like, hey, I'm a realtor. You want to buy a house for me? No, you don't know anything. No, I don't want to use you. You know what I mean? So, but I'll talk about the last 6 months that we had when we joined the team. We have closed now 6 deals in the last 6 months, have 4 in escrow, and we have 6 more lined up for next month. So, and we did it right under $5 million in sales. So we're so grateful, and yeah.
It's like 10 times better than most agents do in the first year. So let's go. All right. So Hunter, you guys both started 20, 21 in this business, and as you know, this business is dominated by gray-haired people that have been around forever.
Dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Oh. Dinosaurs, yeah. You know what happened to the dinosaurs, right? All right. So what did you guys do to build confidence and authority early on, being young? Because I mean, that's a huge disadvantage in this business, is right, just the credibility of age. So what got
first,
you there?
yeah. First things first is, Now that we were joining on a team, whenever we would meet clients, we would really fall on our team's stats and credibility. We didn't have any at the time, so we would literally just, we're on the #1 team in the state of Hawaii, right? You know, we would fall back on that. And the second thing is we would always fall back on our mentor and reach out to him as well all the time. Confident whenever we meet clients. I would say that, like in the sense of creating authority right away, I would say preparation is key. In order to be confident, you have to be prepared. And my thing was, if I lack experience, but what I have to bring to the table is energy, knowledge, confidence, and everything to you know, really make my clients feel comfortable and believe in me to represent them as a realtor. You know.
What does preparation mean? Like mean like script practice? Like what does that mean exactly?
Right. So yeah, I mean, like for example, we did the 30 for 30 open house thing, right? One thing that we really wanted to make sure was that we knew not just everything about the house or the neighborhood, but all of Waipahu, for example. We held open houses in Waipahu for a little bit. We knew everything about Waipahu. So yeah, I guess really knowing knowledge about everything, not just the unit itself, but yeah.
Okay, digging in. I love it. All right, so Kalei, so Hunter just kind of alluded to this, but you know, when you get into real estate, there's a steep barrier, right? Like there's so much to learn, there's so much to figure out. I mean, you got all this stuff working against you, and you know, looking back on your first 90 days of actually doing real estate, not doing cosplay, right? What is it that you did that really moved the needle for you guys?
Well, first off, obviously, the people that are in the first 90 days, you need to join a team. Becoming a solo agent is not easy, and right now it's not the move. When you join a team, you have things to lean on, like he was saying. You have systems that you can rely on. And what we did was joining this team allowed us to put ourselves in rooms that we weren't even ready for yet. You know, having Dylan just be behind him, meeting other people, being able to be connected to this amazing guy named Chris Okamura. I hope you guys know him. He's amazing. We love him so much. And our first meeting that we went and we sat in on his meeting, he talked about this challenge called a 30 for 30. And he said, listen, everyone, this is for extreme realtors only. Nobody's ever done it except for me, Chris. I'm the only person that's ever done it. I looked at Hunter, I was like, this guy? Yeah, I was like, dude, come on, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that next month. There's no doubt about it. So we were doing our full-time jobs. In August of last year, we said, we're done. I quit my job at lifeguarding. I said, we're doing 30 for 30. And that really put us on the map. And that really compressed 10 years of knowledge, I feel, into 30 days. We were able to get in front of countless people every single day. People were asking us questions. We didn't even know. What's a VA assumable? I'll get back to you on that. Let me call Patrick Chandler, my mentor. I'll get back to you on that. You know, constantly every single day doing that pushed the needle for us further and further and further, getting after it, taking action. It's more important than anything you could do in your business.
Yeah, Tyler talked about this earlier, right? Is what you lack in skill and experience, you can overcome with sheer effort. So sometimes when you don't have the skill and experience, that you just got to do a shit ton of work, and that's what these guys did. And like they said, I've talked to Chris about this before. He tells that story a lot about the 30 open house in 30 days, and he's challenged a lot of people with that. Not very many people, maybe they just didn't know any better, you know, take him up on it. But they legit did 30 open houses straight, and Kalei turned 21 during that August, right? He turned 21, didn't take a day off, didn't party, kept working, and I told him, you guys do this, you guys close enough deals by the end of the year, and you can buy yourself a plane ticket. We're gonna party in Vegas at the end of the year, and I'm gonna buy you a ticket to a Zillow conference and a hotel room. And guess what we were doing in November? We were in Vegas, right? So let's go. All right, so Hunter, success, you know, at this speed, right, with like this intensity comes with a ton of challenges. I mean, basically you're compounding the number of challenges and the number of objections and the number of things that are gonna go wrong. And so, you know, what's a specific moment where you face something challenging? How'd you overcome it?
I mean, really, like, since we joined the team, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, but I would definitely say our biggest setback was our startup. We treated real estate as a part-time gig. We didn't treat real estate as a full-time business, and that was such a big mistake on our half. We were the type of realtors to come to events like this, take as much information as we can, and never take action. So I think the biggest thing, our biggest setback was not taking action, not going out there and cold calling, not going out there holding open houses, not treating ourselves like real realtors and treating it like a business. We treated it like a part-time job. So that was definitely one of the biggest setbacks for us is.
Like Casey said earlier, money-making activities, right? It's easy to say realtors like to act busy and do real estate stuff, but they're not actually making any money or doing anything productive, right? All right. Kalei, what tools and tech are you using right now on a daily basis? So like give everybody some like tactical stuff on, you know, like what are you doing day to day? What systems are you using? What technology are you using so they can implement it in their business?
Yeah, so when we joined the team, we got bombarded with this thing called FUB. And if you know
What is
Dylan,
that? What is that?
Called Follow Up Boss. It's a CRM. If you know him, he just shoves it down your throat. You know, you cannot go a waking day without hearing the word FUB in your ear. So that alone is just a game changer. And the reason why I go back to being a solo agent is a lot of solo agents like to do busy work. And the reason why this team is so successful and why we have so much successful agents on it is Dylan did a great job of taking the busy work out. You don't need to start up your own CRM. You don't need to start up your own YLOPO. You don't need to even go down to starting your own email signature at the bottom. Okay, that's all taken care of you for you already. So all you have left to do is lead gen. Literally just lead gen. You will twiddle your thumbs and be like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, wait, it's already done. What else do I have to do is lead gen. So that's why this team is so successful. The tools that we use, it just propel us so much further. And I want to talk on this a little bit too. Everyone knows here, AI has been taking us by storm. And if you guys are using Claude or Claude Code to your, adding it to your business, it is an absolute game changer. The reason why we become real estate agents is we want to spend more time with our families. We want to spend more time with the people that we care about, our friends, do things that we actually love. That's where Claude Code and AI can just automate that for you. It can take over your busy work and you get to go and do things that you love. You get to go and enjoy the people that you like to be around. And I think that's the name of the game. Who wants to be stuck behind a computer 24/7 doing something that you could just automate AI to do in 2 seconds? It really makes no sense, and people are backwards about it. I think that you need to really you need to take in AI and accept it because it's not going anywhere, and people are really utilizing it, and the ones that do, they will be more happy when they're spending time with their kids and you are out there writing up a contract that you can automate.
Love it, love it. All right, so what does your guys' typical day look like? Like, so somebody out there is thinking like, hey, I'm brand new and I want to get into this and really do the things that you guys have done and focus on the things that you're focused in on. Like, take us through, and this is one of my favorite things to ask, right? Is like, take us through every single minute from like wake up to go to sleep. And not every single day is going to be the same, but typically, what does your ideal day in real estate look like?
I'm gonna say this. Me and Kalei, actually, like, we're best friends. We live together, so our schedules are pretty similar. But the only thing different is Kalei likes to wake up at 5.
They're such good friends. People have been like friends or like the kind,
Justice.
like friend, they're just friends. Just friends. Yeah. If you follow them on Instagram, guys, move it with HAK, you could get confused about the relationship. But anyways.
No, but I would say the only thing that's different in our schedules is that Kalei likes to wake up about 30 minutes to an hour before me, and he likes to do the dishes for me every morning. So that would be the only difference, but Kalei will explain our schedule.
Yeah. So I do that, that is important that he brings it up because Dylan always likes to say, start off the day with a win. And what's great about the team is we have a 5 at 5, We start off the day with quotes. And I used to go to that. And then at one of the meetings, he hit me with he hit everyone with if you're just waking up at 5 just to doom scroll, you really shouldn't just be waking up at 5 at all. And I actually did that. I was waking up at 5, going to the 5 at 5, and then after I was just like, just doom scrolling, and I would not be productive. So then I turned it into, what do I count as a win? I count having a clean house as a win. I want to come home and be in a clean house. If you count having a run, going to the gym as your win, as long as you win the morning, you win the day. It's very cliche, but it's true. Your mind just thinks different. You just act different, and you are a better person when you feel complete. You don't even, a fail in the rest of the day will just not even faze you at all. You look at somebody pisses you off or somebody drops out of your escrow, hey, I come back home, I got my win for the day, and I'm gonna repeat that tomorrow because those stackable wins will then take you further and it will help you out tremendously.
Okay, so we're into washing the dishes. Let's keep going.
So 5 a.m. I wake up, okay, dishes. 8 a.m. on our Monday, we have a lot of calls. We always want to check in with our TCs and check in with what are our statuses of our transactions. It's very important to be on top of that. After that, we have our...
Okay, so let's stop there. Let's dig in. So every Monday, you're doing a transaction check-in,
Yes.
making sure everything's straight. First thing you do in the week, right?
Very important.
Okay, love it. Okay, what's next?
Okay. After that, we have our other team foundations meeting. We get to learn about a lot more about what the other agents are doing on the team, what he has to bring to the table, to talk about what he's learned from other conferences. Okay. After that, that lasts another hour. After that, I go into my follow-up. I scan my whole CRM, my FUB, and it makes it easy. It just tells me who I need to follow up with. So it doesn't really take that long. Either I call them or I text them, depending on the client that they are. After that, I go into my lead gen, cold call, cancel, and expired listings. These people, you need to call, cancel, and expired. I mean, they already raised up their hand once, and they had a shitty agent, so might as well step in for them, you know what I mean? So I go in lead gen as much as I can. I try to aim for 2 hours. After that, we have field work. So this is a time block, and I got this actually from Justice Peng. She said she won't even show properties outside of 12 or 3. You know, if it's outside of that time, sorry, we got to do that for tomorrow. So I took upon that. I said, you know what, I want to time block a time where I will only show a property from 12 to 3. After that, it's a hard cut. You know, if I do have an emergency where something's going wrong with my escrow, I will take a call, but I want to be there, present in my personal life after 5 o'clock. And that's about where I end off my day.
I want to emphasize on this. He just shouted out Justice, right? If you don't know Justice Peng, she was up here last year, but I think she's the #1 individual agent in the state in EXP. Closes like 70, 80 deals a year, right? And how many of you guys have the courage to tell your clients, no, I cannot do it this afternoon, I can do it tomorrow? Right? So many agents have this like fear of like, oh, I'm going to lose business if I do that. Well, you should not do that only if you don't want to close 80 deals, right? Because she closes 80 deals a year and she has very structured systems in her life. And that's one of the things that a lot of people have adopted is like this window of if you want to create consistency in your life, like you have to say, I'm only going to book appointments from this time to this time. The rest of my day, like Kalei is talking about, is structured in lead generation, follow-up, transaction management, all the things that we got to do to keep our business going.
And I want to add something too. If you have a leader like Justice Peng in your industry or in your team or in your state, why aren't you asking them questions, gaining what they do every day and just replicating it? It's really simple. It's not like they invented something new and they're going and walking on the moon. It's really simple. Just copy exactly what they did and, oh, well, maybe you'll get the pace of their success.
And then that's a huge tip is especially coming from 20-year-old males that are usually filled with ego, is just getting rid of your ego and following what somebody else has done and copying them and putting your ego aside is like a huge tip of advice. So love that. Hunter, anything different on schedule? I mean, pretty similar, right? I mean, any other input on schedule?
I go to the gym at 11.
Yeah, you don't get jacked like that by not going to the gym, right? So,
but back to the I just want to emphasize on the cold calling and everything. Pretty much all of me and Kalei's listings that we got this year, we got 3 listings so far just from cold calling expired. So, and then 1 is in escrow, or did it close yesterday? Closing this week, right? Yeah. Next week. So, yeah, definitely those cold calls in the morning are so beneficial for.
Okay, so you're cold calling people, booking appointments. Like, have you guys gotten the objection when you show up and they're like, man, you're like a freaking kid? Like, do you ever get that objection?
Every time.
Okay, and then what do you tell them?
Oh, what do I tell them? I'll just go ahead and be like, hey, I may be 21 years old, but I've closed 6 deals this year or 5 deals this year. My team is the #1 team in the state. We've helped over 1,000 families in the past. In 2025, so I kind of just let the credibility that we have now speak for ourselves, and then I think really the work that we put in is a really high level work. I think most of the agents on our team push out a lot of work where it's really high level, and I think we've every single closing that we've done, every single one of our clients have so far have been very impressed. And I really enjoy when older people be like, wow, you're 21 years old, you're 22 years old, and they shout us out for our hard work and being ambitious at this age that a lot of people don't have. So I think being able to prove somebody wrong based off of their first I guess take on us is one of the most rewarding things ever.
So you just don't let it hold you back, right? You know it's gonna come, you just lean into it. And that's one thing I love about their social media too, is they lean into that. Like they don't try and hide it. It's like, hey, they do a day in the life of a 21-year-old realtor, right? And I think another big takeaway from that is your vibe attracts your tribe, right? If people that don't want to work with you because you're young, don't want to work with you, they're not gonna, no matter what you do. There's no magic script you can have in your head, and don't worry about that shit. The ones that want a young, ambitious dude that's gonna work hard for them, they're gonna come, and so just worry about that, right? Attract your tribe. All right, so if there's somebody in the audience, right, new age, not necessarily young, but if you're new age, to me in this business, like age is not a thing. It's either like, how long have you been in the business, right? So somebody that's new, maybe young in the business is struggling right now. And what's one like piece of advice you would give them to have them keep going and really get to that next level and maybe hit their first 5 or 10 million in volume?
Yeah, I would say lead gen is the most important thing to the real estate.
Say that again.
Lead gen is the most important thing to a successful business in real estate. We've been a part of 2 different brokerages. We didn't get lead gen there. We didn't do any business there. Once you join the team, we got lead gen. So you really got to take action. Always take action. Go do that open house. Go call that person. Don't be afraid. Always just keep moving forward, taking action, doing something, because at the end of the day, life rewards action, not knowledge. You know what I mean?
I love that. What was that? Say that again. Say it again.
Life rewards action, not knowledge.
I love that. Write that down. Yes, good shit. All right, Kalei, what you got on that? What you got? What's one piece of advice you give somebody who's young or maybe struggling, having a tough year so far?
I think, yes, taking action is very important. Doing it on a consistent basis is even more important. Yes, you can take action, but if you just take action once, it doesn't mean anything. You need to take action day after day after day. And if anyone in here has a problem with consistency, like I do sometimes, I don't go to the gym every freaking day. I'm sorry. I'm skinny twig.
But you wash the dishes.
I wash the dishes.
How many ladies would prefer dishes over the gym?
Yeah. So, try to keep my girlfriend happy. So, yeah. I mean, if you guys have a problem with consistency, there is an easy way to overcome consistency. It's called obsession. You then turn me having to go and cold call. Oh, I have to go and call these clients to I get to call these clients. I get to go and go to this open house. I get to write that contract, because then that obsession, that leads you to your goal way more and way better than if you just to be, all mad about having to do this, and that. And I want everyone to know too, you guys have to practice failure. Stop running away from failure, thinking if you fail, you are taking a step back. Failure is a step closer to your goal, that the person you want to become. A lot of people, I want to challenge everyone in here to fail today. Go to the table that you think you're not welcome at. Go to the person that you think that they don't want to talk to you. And I want you to talk to them and see how your life grows from there. And fail at everything. Just don't be afraid to fail. It's such a great thing that people are so scared of and people run away from. You need to drop your ego, because it really doesn't matter. There's 8 billion people on this freaking planet. You need to just stop, okay? Go out and fail.
I love it. Fail forward. Fail. Well, one of my notes that I've taken many times from Build events is, if you've ever heard Brent Gove talk, Brent Gove talks about fail with velocity. The faster you can fail, the faster you're going to succeed. So I love that. All right, guys, kind of in closing, now that you've kind of conquered that startup phase of your career and got over that first hump of the first 6 months to a year, what's the big goal, guys? What's next?
I guess for me, I have been dabbling into AI and everything. So for me, my big goal is I want to not be one of those agents where I don't have any time for anybody else, and I am just so locked in on my business and everyone else can just kick rocks. I want to be that agent that will serve my clients at the highest possible level while still being there for my family or my friends and my loved ones. I want to be present in their lives while still giving the highest level of service to my clients. And a byproduct of that will, I want more commissions. That's obvious too. I'm a young boy, so I'm still in that phase of wanting more commissions. But a byproduct of me serving my clients at the highest level is that. So I believe that I just want more time with my family, my friends, while still giving that high level of service.
I would say that I want to do 20 million by the end of the year. That's the goal for sure. But I guess looking at one thing I love about EXP, one thing I really like about it is the agent attraction, right? Having all of that. So me and Kalei actually brought on, I think there's 3 of them out here right now. Since joining the team, me and Kalei brought on 3 people onto the team. And I think one of my big goals is to start creating that getting more people under me, bringing more people onto the team, being able to, I know all the youngins out here, they're doing good right now, this is the best place to be as a new agent, the best place to be as a new agent. So I want to be able to be that outlet for new agents come in I don't want them to have to go through what me and Kalei did, bouncing around brokerage to brokerage, feeling hopeless, almost quitting. So I want to be that person to help bring more people onto the team and get better agents in here in Oahu,
Okay, for those of you interested in agent attraction, who brought on 3 or 4 or 5 agents in the first 6 months? Not that many, right? So again, no excuses. These guys can do it. Very few have. What are you guys doing? Okay, how does that conversation go? You meet an agent. What are you doing to get these people to have interest? Generate interest in joining the brokerage.
The results speak for itself. Social media, you guys might have seen us on social media sometime, but I guess lots of people lots of agents reach out to us about social media content and everything. And before we used to actually shoot videos a little bit for social, Kalei still does once in a while. So I guess whenever we meet agents, they kind of know our story. They kind of just, like I said,
they're watching, right? Even if you don't know them, they're watching from afar, right?
I'm watching every agent. I want to see what the goods and the bads are. I want to, but pretty much the results speak for themselves. Everybody knows if you're a real estate agent, you know what Zillow Flex is. You know it's the best thing to ever happen for new agents at least. So Zillow Flex is a big thing, and then all the tools that we have on our team is just so helpful.
I think the way I would sum it up for you guys, and they just follow, they don't overthink stuff. They just kind of use a simple system, is just share the good news, right? At the end of the day, we overthink agent attraction. At the end of the day, all people want to do is sell more houses. And if you can show them that there's proof of concept that we can help them sell more houses, then a lot of times that opens the door to a further conversation, a conversation with somebody like me that can help close them. But definitely just share you guys are definitely top notch at sharing the good news. So.
Yeah, and honestly, if you ever speak to me about the agency team Hawaii, it's almost as if you think Dylan's paying me to speak about it, because I speak so highly about it.
It's not supposed to be a commercial about
no,
the team.
it's really not. But the thing is, when you have built such a great thing how Dylan has done, and your agents are just so passionate about the tools and the things that they've done and the success, you look at other agents, you realize, you're like, hey, I was in your position and I know the pain you're going through. Let me help you cut off that pain. Do you still want to be bleeding, or do you want to have success? Do you want to have business and constantly be flowing? It speaks for itself, like he said, the results, but when you build something so great, you can't help yourself but to be so compassionate about it. So that's why, if anybody was talking to me about joining EXP or the team, yeah, you're sitting there for 30 minutes just listening to me ramble.
And here's the good news, guys, is you don't have to be on the team, right? Who talked about co-sponsorship earlier? Somebody talked about co-sponsorship earlier, and that's a game changer in EXP. Is you can leverage us and them. If you run into a young agent that's struggling, say, hey, call Hunter, call Kalei. I bet they can share some good information with you, and we can always leverage co-sponsorship to help agents. Because at the end of the day, it's not about building a rev share and making money. Let's help everybody succeed, right? If the rising tide raises all ships, and we have an abundance mindset, and we're just doing good things for the universe pays us back tenfold. So that's what they're good at doing. Is imagine their energy. You walk into an open house and you run into these guys, man. Why would you not want to join, right? Love it. All right, guys, any final thoughts? We got a minute.
I do want to add something along with the other 3 things that we talked about. When you need to take action every single day, you need to do it on a consistent basis, be obsessive about it. You need to go out there and fail. And one more thing that I think that every person that can use, new or old, is I want you guys to be delusional. Stop being realistic. We haven't came this far as a human race by being realistic. We didn't go from horse and buggy to launching rockets into space by being realistic. Really, I mean, you have to think and believe in yourself that you can do so much more than you even know. Like he says, you overestimate what you can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 5 to 10. You need to be delusional and stop being realistic. And if someone tells you, if you go and tell your goals and aspirations to someone and they say, be realistic, stop, get away from them as far as you can. Run the other way.
You got anything?
See you guys at the after party.
That's priorities. Hey, how about a round of applause, guys? Let's go be delusional.
Now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team in.
All right, we gotta clear these chairs. Was that not cool? You guys got awesome.